let's look at the top 5 here. I'm going to start with my number 5. I have the Vikings.
Okay.
I'm a strong believer in the Vikings. They're starting to get together. Adam Thielen, I'm pretty sure he's leading the league in receiving yards, has had over 100 yards every game so far.
Monster year.
He's number 1 receiver in the league, I think, this year. He's just been unbelievable. The thing that blows my mind about this guy is he was undrafted. No one even wanted him. I think he got one D1 scholarship, something like that. I think it was FCS. So this guy is just an underdog story, and now he's one of the best receivers. In my mind, the best receiver right now in the league.
Well, he's having the best season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this year. I'm not saying overall for their whole career.
That's
fair. I'm talking this season. So that's a big reason why him, Stephon Diggs, Kirk Cousins actually has been panning out a lot better than I thought he would do there. Not that I didn't think he would do well with this offense built around him. But I still believe this team could be a contender. The defense needs to step up a little more.
I respect that. I do. I respect it. My number 5, I'm going to give to the Los Angeles Chargers.
See, that I was actually debating that.
Yeah.
So I like this pick.
I'm going to give it to the Chargers. They currently stand at, what are they, 4-2?
Let me check. I can pull it up real quick.
I got it right in front of me. Sorry. 5-2. They're 5-2. Yeah, so they're 5-2 right now. The reason they're my number 5 is because their wins have come against teams that they probably should have beat and obviously did. You know, they had a win against the Niners. They beat the Browns. They beat the Raiders. They beat the Titans. They're obviously a win's a win, but when you beat the Niners by 2 points, when you beat the Titans by 1 point, you know, these aren't great teams. The Niners are garbage, but the Titans aren't like awful.
I think the Titans at the time too were doing a lot better than they are now.
So they had like a win's a win. So I look at it like they got 5 wins. Their only 2 losses came against the Rams and the Chiefs, who are the 2 best teams in football.
Yeah.
So
understandable losses.
Let me see some quality wins out of the Chargers. Let me see them take down one of the more established teams in the league, and then maybe they'll bump up a little bit. But you got to respect the fact that their only 2 losses came against our 1 and 2 teams for this entire year in power ranking. So number 5, Chargers.
Also, I want to say they only won by 1 against the Titans, but Melvin Gordon was also out. So let's not forget that.
He's a stud, huh?
Oh, I love last year.
Him and Gurley coming out of the same draft. Everybody just automatically looks at Gurley because he's an absolute animal.
Well, Gurley exploded.
Gordon's having a hell of a career so far.
Gurley exploded his first year. Then sophomore year, he just slumped. And then his third year, he exploded. And this year, he's even doing better.
Nobody talks about Gordon,
Melvin
though.
Gordon.
Chargers are probably one of the most,
always are one of the most underrated teams.
I was going to say
Melvin
irrelevant.
Gordon, I started watching him a little last year, and I was like, wow, this guy's actually pretty good. So I drafted him in my fantasy league, and I watched him a little more. And this dude just balls out every game.
He's a
game
stud.
in and game out.
He didn't play for one of the most irrelevant teams in the league in the Chargers. Not that they're bad, but they're just irrelevant.
If you had more,
it's just one of those teams, in baseball, who talks about the Twins?
If he
you know
was
what I mean?
having
It's
more,
like one of those teams.
if he played more primetime games like the Rams, then it would be different.
Oh yeah,
that's why Todd Gurley gets talked about more. It's the
Who's
team
your
he's
4?
on.
Who's your 4?
Number 4, I got the New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
Even though they lost by 1 point. Oh no, sorry, they won by 1 point against the Ravens. Still a strong team. I'm not surprised that they struggled a little because that defense is starting to become one of the best in this league. Probably debatably a top 5, easily top 5, debatably a top 3. And I'm not surprised that Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara got slowed down a little that game. They still came out on top with the win. Tucker missed his first PAT, which is unfortunate, but Saints overall is still a good team. They just picked up Eli Apple, who that's some young talent. Not that he's anything that special, but it gives them a little more depth in the secondary. Yeah. It's something, but I think it just gives them a little more depth. But
we're at the point in the power ranking where I'm a little nervous that we're going to have the same going forward because I also have the Chiefs. So I'm going to give you my number 3.
I said the Saints.
Oh, that's what I meant. I meant to say Saints.
My
number 4 is the Saints. My number 3 is the Chiefs.
See, this is the difference.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, yeah, I had Saints at 4, but Chiefs I got at 3. The reason they're at 3 is because I think the Patriots established that they have a better offense.
Ooh.
Personally,
that's a hot take. I don't believe that.
No, I think the Pats have established that they have the ability to make do with whatever they have.
That I'll agree with because Tom's done that his whole career.
And that, I think, in this application makes them a better offense. Because when Gronk goes down...
And Sony Michel.
Right, okay. Hold on. So when Gronk goes down, you don't have to run through Gronk. Because now you got Edelman in the slot that can take up some of those in the middle of the field plays. Hogan obviously is going to get his long passes. Gordon has established himself. James White is their best offensive option right now.
Easily.
Period. Sony Michel goes down. You still put in James White. I hope they go out and get another running back. But Kenyon Barnard didn't look terrible when he came in limited snaps.
He had a couple of good plays.
Brady isn't making as obviously we've been saying Brady's looked like a little shaky, not terrible, but he's looked fine.
I was to say this last game I think he looked a lot better. His one pick was because it was a questionable throw to start off with, but it went to James Devlin who bobbled it and then someone else caught it.
Yeah,
I feel like half of his picks have been like that this year.
Yeah. So
I
also am a little less sold on the Bengals now going forward. I think the Bengals are at that point in the season where they are going to start to fall apart. So the 45-10 win that the Chiefs had over the Bengals doesn't really mean as much to me as the Pats taking down the Bears.
See, to me, I have the Patriots.
And you were all in on the Bears. You loved the Bears.
I did, and that shows me that makes me lose a little faith in them now, especially with how Trubisky performed. Yes, he ran unbelievable, but his throwing was awful. Some of the worst I've seen out of him.
It wasn't that bad.
It was pretty bad. We'll go back and look at his stats. It was bad.
I'm about to do that right now. Hold on. But
yardage-wise, if you include running, it was good. But I think with the end, with the push there at the end, it helped out. But most of the game, he was pretty inaccurate. But the thing for me with the Patriots is the defense. Yes, they made the big plays at the end. But how many times are you going to be able to do that? Because their defense, the guys that did make the big plays, also struggled a lot. Jackson there, he had two hands to the illegal hands to the face.
J.C. Jackson did not look good.
No, he had one pick, but that was an underthrown play, so he was there.
You heard his name a lot, and it wasn't really for making great
Jones
plays.
Is starting to step up a little. He had a nice pick, but still, he's not anything unbelievable. It's just this defense, I'm not sold on it quite yet.
Me neither. I'm not all the way sold.
I think it needs another piece or two, which...
I think they looked better, though.
They did look better.
Another thing that is really making me happy about the Pats, Trent Brown.
Oh, the O-line has been playing great.
He shut down Khalil Mack.
I'm not surprised by that. One, Khalil Mack...
You're not surprised by that?
Let me explain. One, Khalil Mack, his right ankle is hurting a little. Two, if you go back and look at J.J. Watt's stats against the Patriots...
They're not great.
No, he has like half a sack, maybe 1.5. So they know how to shut down guys like Khalil Mack. Not taking away anything from Khalil Mack, but they just know how to shut these guys down.
I just think the Patriots are in a situation right now where they're not fully healthy and there are some question marks. But even with that, they're able to compete with good teams. So going forward, Once they get healthy, I think that's just going to make them that much scarier. Obviously, they beat the Chiefs.
They're just not healthier yet. They're not healthy yet. The reason I have the Chiefs at 2, that's where I have them above the Patriots, is because for me, I've always been saying their offense is number 1 in this league. I still believe that. And this whole year I've been saying I'm not a believer in this Chiefs defense.
Pats beat them.
I understand that.
Pats beat them.
But their defense stepped up unbelievable this week against the Bengals. They only lit up 7 points. I think the Chiefs defense is what really made me put them at my number 2. Because the Patriots defense, I saw more mistakes in than them. So that was kind of my reasoning behind putting the Chiefs at number 2.
Pats beat them.
And I'm not going to deny that. I'm just looking at what happened. They crushed their opponent when the Patriots won by 1 yard left.
Yeah. So I also have we're flipped there. So the Patriots are my number 2. I don't have to go all the way through it, but number 1,
the Rams,
the Browns.
Yeah, good joke.
No, the Browns. Obviously the Rams. They haven't lost yet.
They're undefeated.
They're gonna say it every single week. Show me a loss, then maybe we'll talk about it. But until then,
once they lose, then I'm open to discussion.